this may be the best action camera ever made. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. This is the Insta360 Go 3. Now, I bought the Insta360 Go 2 and really loved it. In fact, I wore it on a little pendant, would shoot some video when I was going around riding a bike, reviewing something in front of me, working on my car, and it was pretty good. I thought the colors looked a little washed out sometimes. It didn't necessarily have the resolution that I would have liked. You know, I like filming in 4K, 60 FPS, but from a standpoint of it being more portable than like a GoPro and more convenient to shoot with, I really loved it. Now, they have made some improvements in the 3, which got me really intrigued. I can still wear it like a pendant, so I can wear it like an action camera right in front of me. But now it shoots 4K, I think. Hopefully the colors look a little bit better. But more than that, the new housing they have here looks like it has a screen. That was never available on the Go 2. And so you can use this just like a GoPro in many cases. And I thought, you know, put this thing on a stick. Because it's stabilized, it won't show any movement like this in your hand or this. You might get really nice cinematic smooth video with it. So let's get this thing unboxed and see what we get. Then try it out. I ordered this directly from Insta, but just wanted to kind of see what came with this. First thing you get is this invisible selfie stick and tripod. I never expected to get this with it, but I'm glad it comes with this. And this is going to allow me to use this like a handheld camera, like those expensive gimbals that you can mount a regular camera on. Or if you're using this with the Insta360 and it's stabilized, it stays level to the horizon, then you can actually move this around and the camera is going to do the work. So what you can see here is we have a 1/4 inch screw up here, some knurling. It says Insta360. This is pretty long here. I'd say this is about 8 inches, and it's probably an inch in diameter. Feels great in the hand. It's easy to grip onto. But what you can see here is we have some legs that will flare out here. So there's a button on the bottom here. If I push that, oh, there we go. Look at that. That's actually pretty clever. Man, this is a solid piece of equipment. So you just push that up, and these flare out. It kind of looks like the SpaceX rocket landing again. And what we get here is this kind of stays up here. And so now I can put this down, have the camera on top of it, film something. This is really wide down here. This is probably 10 inches wide. So it's going to be a nice stable base. If you're out in the wilderness doing something active, you want to put it on unlevel ground. Like I said, the camera's going to do the work and level that out. So now to pull this all back, I just kind of pull this down and then boom, this all locks together. And then again, to deploy it, just push that up. Man, that is a nice piece of kit. I would say this selfie stick here is probably one of the best ones I've ever seen, regardless. So I'm excited about using that. All right, we also get a carrying case. I think I actually had to buy this separately when I bought my first Insta360. This is actually pretty big because the Go 2 is really small. It's hard-sided. You can see nice gray material there. And then it looks like we have a guide here to put everything. Easy clip, quick release. Looks like the mini 2-in-1 tripod. I'm not sure what that is. I guess that's going to be smaller than the selfie stick. I wish this would fit in there. That's pretty cool. And then it looks like this is going to be for the Go 3 action pod, and this will be for the pivot stand. And then you can put some other accessories up here, your cords, as well as maybe the pendant and things like that. So we get that as well, which is really nice. And then here is what we are really looking at, the Go 3 tiny action cam, and I am super excited about this. There it is. Okay, the camera itself looks like it's about the same. So to me, this does not look much different. If I flip it over here, I do want to tell you, size-wise, there is a little bit of a difference. I can tell you right now that on the back, I've never had this little clip right here and here. And I think that was maybe to lock into the new housing, the action housing. And then what we have here is some quick reference guides. Here's some little accessories. Ooh, okay, so we get a USB-A to USB-C cord, so you'll need that to charge. And then here is kind of the quick start guide and all your paperwork and stickers to promote it for them for free. And then here, what we have here is the hat clip. I actually really love these. I use these a lot. I put them on the brim of my hat when I'm filming golf shots and things like that. You can see how that clips right in there, and then this will clip on your hat. headband, your belt, whatever you want. This will move around just like that. Then we get the pendant. This pendant is new. Ooh, look at this. The nylon cord now wraps into this like silicone housing down here, which is really cool. The old one was just kind of a pendant. You just kind of had to let the cord hang. I was like, man, that's a really short cord, but look at this. It just pulls out like that, so it stores in there. It feels a little bit heavier, but now I can take my magnetic camera here and throw it on the pendant and wear this pendant under my shirt, but then just quickly stick it to my shirt. And it actually reminds me a lot of the communicators on Star Trek. Beam me up a ham and cheese sandwich. Then we get the action camera housing. Now this is where this whole thing becomes much more like a traditional action camera. This is very much a similar size to my GoPro Hero 11 Black or whatever it was, right? But now I can put this in there and look at that. Yeah, it's going to stick out maybe a little bit, but overall it's just about the same form factor. We get a power button here. Looks like we get some sort of mode there. Screen on the back here, USB-C there. Looks like a couple of metal mounting points there and probably a shutter button there. But what I love about this is now we have a screen on the back, and I don't think this is waterproof like the GoPros, but I can flip this guy up like this and selfie myself. But what I really love about this and why I got this instead of the DJI Osmo Pocket, which I was really interested in, is that I hope I can actually have the screen mounted like this, because there's a lot of times I've got the camera low, but what your tendency is when the screen is flat is to tilt the camera down, all right? So what I thought is when the camera is low like this, and I've got it on my selfie stick, now I can see my screen, but I can keep that low angle to stuff without sacrificing the shot, getting down low or getting in a weird position. So hopefully the screen will allow me to view what it is seeing regardless of how it's pivoted. So for example, there have been times when I've been shooting parts of the car and getting down low to show you something, and I didn't realize that I was tipping that down and I had to crop out a lot of the shot. This way I might be able to get down low, get in on controls or parts or something like that, and still just be standing up nice and tall, proud, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, that is clever. So that is really the money piece of it right there. Here is the mount. I think this will go on here. So you can put this on the mount, and then those little clips there will clip into these right here. Ooh, it seems like there's a magnet in there, and the magnet's going to work one way. Oh, look at that. And now we can release this. So right here, so there's a magnet kind of pulling it in, but these little metal clips are going to keep this from falling out. Man, that is so clever. That is so clever. Okay, so I could have this always attached to my selfie stick, have this thing ready to go, and basically what I have is the ability to quick attach and detach this to a selfie stick. How cool is that? So far on all of the hardware that we get with this, I am super stoked. In fact, I cannot wait to shoot with this, because if the footage is decent, and I would say that my last GoPro, I was impressed with the quality of the shots, but it would not allow me to do a full 360 rotation. I think once I got about 30 or 40 degrees off of horizon, it would actually flip the image like vertically. And so this will allow me to go all the way around. So in fact, I think the software is even better than GoPro. And now it has the form factor of GoPro, which is going to be far more familiar. So I would be much more likely to film with this, just based on the way it's set up and all the features it has. Now we got to see if it even films decently. So let's get outside and try it out. All right, I'm outside here with the new Insta360 Go 3 here, and I thought we would just do a little bit of a test with it. This isn't going to be the most thorough thing, but most of the time when I'm trying to shoot really stable shots, I'm just walking through an airport, walking through a hotel, walking through a buffet line. Oh, Old Country Buffet, where you need to put the prime rib. And I thought we would just see what that looks like when I'm trying to hold it steady. Even when I've got my iPhone and it's got image stabilization on, it still gets a little bit of that rocking, right? So this has the ability to look almost professional grade, like you're using literally a gimbal. I mean, the image stabilization in here hopefully will do that. Now, the thing that I've noticed is that I cannot figure out how to do the horizon lock per se. So I'm going to play around with the settings and see if I can do that. But It will probably show me kind of rolling my hands like this. We'll see how much of that shows up. But what I'm really looking for is getting rid of this kind of this walking, bouncing motion here. And the other thing I want to show you here is that, as I suspected, the screen, which can pivot like this, does show me what I am seeing, and I can put the camera down at a much more useful angle, especially if I'm trying to show you something and not necessarily bend down. The camera can get into it. I can still see what it's showing. On the GoPro, when this is flat, I've got to kind of lean back here to see what it's seeing. So this little movable screen is totally ingenious. I mean, it's not like nobody's thought of it, but why don't more cameras have something like this? I get bigger screens and screens that can pivot, but to me, what I really want are just screens that can move like this, and that seems like an easy thing to do. So let's record myself walking around, running around here, and see what it looks like on the Insta. All right, I'm actually walking now, and I did not turn on the wind cancellation. So there is like a setting in here to do that now. We do have a little bit of wind. I call it like 4 or 5, 6 miles an hour, and it's a little chilly. So this is probably actually getting a pretty good gust now. This is probably where I would actually turn on the noise cancellation for wind, but I just want to shoot it without doing it because I don't know that you'll know when to turn it on or off. I mean, if you're climbing up a mountain, doing a little outdoor hiking, and it's really windy, all right, now we're getting 7, 8, 9 mile per hour winds, then you might want to turn it on. All right, now I want to stop here for a second because you can kind of see the horizon out there, and I'm in the freeform shooting mode, which is like 1440 DPI and like 30 FPS, and I want to rotate the camera here because even though it's kind of like going side to side, I'm just going side to side now, but I'm trying to rotate it so that I can show you it is horizon locking, and that is amazing because if you were to go ahead, I mean, I've got it like 90 degrees to the left, 90 degrees to the right, 90 degrees to the left and right. So if you were to put this on your helmet, on your chest, your skiing, your dirt biking, it's going to be really awesome because as you lean into something, and I'm leaning right now, 45 degrees to the right, 45 degrees to the left, it's going to keep that horizon nice and stable. Now, maybe that's not what you want for your action shot, but in my case, I love that because sometimes I get a little lazy, the camera's tilted off to the side, I don't mean to do that, and then it gets just annoying. You have to kind of try to figure out how to fix it in post, and you're usually cropping out a bunch of your image or your footage, right? And so if I come through here, as you can see, just a dirt path, pretty uneven. This isn't like a graded trail or anything, and I'm kind of bouncing around here. I've got the selfie stick out too, and so I've got the camera on the end of the selfie stick, so it's exacerbating the movement. I'm not trying to move it, but I'm trying to keep it relatively still, and you should be able to kind of determine what you think of this. So if I were to turn around here and then just start jogging a little bit, not too much, I don't want to fall over and die of a heart attack, but this is now what you can expect when you've got someone really moving. My hand is moving, I can't do anything about it, but at a slow, leisurely pace, that's what you can expect. So anyway, I just wanted to do a quick test with this because I definitely think that this is what camera moving forward for my action adventures, some of my instructionals, those types of things. And if you want to pick up the Go 3, so far it seems like a nice upgrade over the Go 2. I'll put a link to it in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.